Hey there. Today we're going to be taking a look at all sorts of tractors, vehicles, and seeing what they do. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Here we are at the beach. And this is a bulldozer, and it's driving over to move sand. It has large tracks to move over uneven surfaces, and it has a large blade on the front for moving material. We're going to use the bulldozer to collect all the sand into a pile. This is pretty powerful. You can really move a lot of sand. There's a little windrow there that we need to doze with this thing. Except it did not spread out the way we wanted it to. Now we can make another pass and get some more sand. There we go. That should be enough for now. So let's pull it over to the side. Here comes a dump truck. This dump truck has very big tires that are 70 inches in diameter, and it can carry loads of up to 40 tons. It has a dumper body that can carry all kinds of materials. Let's get the machine around the sand pile. As long as we don't fall into the water, we should be good. Right here should be good. To load the sand up, we're going to use this excavator here. It's very slow, but it can crawl over bumpy terrain a lot easier than others, thanks to crawler tracks. This digger has a bucket and a boom that can shovel up the sand and load it into our dump truck. Let's test this thing out in action. Let's take a look on the inside while we scoop up sand. Here's another camera view on the arm. Off it comes. Careful. Dump it in. There's sure a lot of sand to move, and there's a specific need for it. It looks like this is going to take a while. Well, I think there's a way we can speed it up. This low loader truck is hauling a backhoe loader on it, and it has a larger bucket that can move more sand very efficiently. Let's pull it over here and unfold the ramps. Now we can get to our backhoe and drive it off. There we go. Now we can load it up. Now we can continue loading our dump truck with more sand. This bucket can hold twice, this loader bucket can hold twice as much sand as the excavator's bucket. But it is a little heavy. and we can do wheelies or balances. And this bucket is very unique from others because if I can get over the truck, it opens up to release the load, except I just did something wrong. I accidentally spilled the sand. That was my fault. Gotta put our dump truck in a better place to load it at. That would do. Whoa, careful. Let's lift it over. There we go. We're getting some sand in there. So let's close the bucket and take another swig of sand. Let's dump this out into the truck bed. And I'll continue filling up. Here comes another scoop. Let's continue loading sand. Wow, the sand might be a bit heavy, but it's okay. We're doing it just fine. Here comes another scoop. Let's see. Our truck is not quite full, but it's getting there. Can scoop some sand up from here, as long as we're mindful about our excavator. There. Now we're going to finish off with the excavator. There's another scoop of sand filling up the truck. Let's take some sand from over here that we didn't get with our bulldozer. Let's move back. Get that bit there. Oops, don't spill. Oh, easy there. That will do. So let's lift it. Oh, careful. And drop it into our truck. Our truck is nearly full, so let's try to fit as much sand in as we can. Although, all the sand from the pile here is way too much to put in the truck. You need to make more trips otherwise. Let's see how much full our truck is getting. A couple more scoops will do. So let's take another scoop. Swing it around. Dump it out. Let's take another scoop. Alright, our dump truck is now full. So let's park our excavator, and hop in the dump truck, and transport the sand to where we need it to be. Wow, this truck is very strong, carrying this weight of sand. Just coming up the hill. As we move down the road, carrying tons of sand in our bed. Here we come. Our destination is not too far from here. It's just down there. See it off in the distance. So let's zoom down the hill. Wow, we're going at full speed now. Full RPM. It looks like there's a problem at the road intersection here. And that's why we brought this sand, is so that we could fill it in. Although we must be careful not to get any sand outside of the hole. It all has to go in. Our truck is almost empty, but let's spray out this last bit of sand. That'll do for now. The rest of the hole will get filled in very later. Let's see what's going on elsewhere. Here we are at the port. A lot of work goes on here, and this is one of the busiest places. A ship just docked in, and there's a container ready to be unloaded, but that's quite a long way to get it. So we need to use this gigantic mobile crane to lift it out of the ship. This is quite a huge crane. It's got 16 wheels and can lift up to 450 tons of just about anything. Let's set it up. Down the pistons go, and up goes the boom. Alright. There are different controls in the crane cab, and lots of different commands. This is the camera we needed on the hook block. Let's swing this over just a bit. There we go. Now we will extend it out and aim right at the container and lift it out of the ship. I know, this is a bulk hold, not a cargo hold. I just did that because it was the best that I could do. Oh. There we go. The container is connected and we can lift it out. Now we can move it in and drop it off in the right place. Big containers are no problem for a strong crane like this one, as you can see. These containers are loaded to the brim with furniture from Sweden. This crane makes a perfect team of the ship. While it unloads the containers, the ship's cranes are loading some lumber. Now we've got the container down, and we can fold up the crane so we can use it at a later time. Next, we need to use this machine coming over, called a reach stacker. A reach stacker moves the containers to the end of the pier, where the trucks come to pick them up later. Let's raise the boom and extend out the mast that carries the containers. Easy does it. There are some really fragile things inside these containers, so we need to be careful while moving them. The rails for the other cranes are a bit bumpy, but those cranes are inoperative. That's why we're using our own big crane to move them. Here we are. Let's lift this container and stack it on top. This machine may not be as big as the others, but its job is very important. Let's drop the container off. Well, these machines still have a lot of work to do. So, while they finish up here, there's more for us to do. This is quite a busy port. This is what the inside of the cab looks like, and interestingly enough, it can move all the way to the front, depending on the position where you're working from. Don't mind me, I'll be back in a second. Now, let's visit a farm. Here's a farm tractor. It has a lot of power, 310 to be exact, and can pull all kinds of implements like the sewing machine. A sewing machine can plant the seeds. We're going to be planting some wheat today. All the seeds are stored in that hopper there. Let's unfold our unit and get it started on the planting. The tractor can make multiple passes up and down the field to plant all the seeds. This sewing machine is quite a contraption, as you can see. Lots of hoses running from the tank to put the seeds into the ground. This could take a while. But this seeder has a working width of 8 meters. While it continues planting seeds, let's see what's going on elsewhere. Here is a wood harvester. This machine is used for chopping trees down and cutting it into logs. Here's a good tree to cut down. See that green ring? You can align it just at the tree and then cut it. Now we can cut our log. We can cut our tree into logs. Let's just make sure. Oh. Is it glitched into the map? Let's cut another log. there we go. We've got 3 logs. Let's see if we can get these positioned properly by using some magic. Get this aligned properly so it's ready for pickup. There we go. We can stack this log up on top. But now the question is, how do we move these logs? Here comes a log loader. It collects this machine collects the logs from the pile, and it can move them to a suitable place. This grapple on the front can hold much more logs than this, but we've got 3 logs to move today. Let's try to grip tight on them. Try to lift them up as high as we can so we can get them into the grab as best as we can. If I can grab them properly, there we go. We can now transport them to a suitable place, just over there on the other side of the forest. Let's not allow the logs to slip out of here. We need them for making lumber that we can use to build houses. And here we are at our destination. Wow, they just slipped out pretty easily enough. To load the logs, we're going to use this logging truck to transport them to the mill. We could even use the log loader itself to load the logs themselves. But let's unfold the crane on this truck, and it has a built-in. I forgot to mention, yeah, this truck has a built-in crane that can move logs. Whoa, careful. Let's move this log carefully into place. There we go. The truck also has support legs to support the weight, despite that it could be tipping over here. Here comes the second log onto the truck bed. Oh, careful. Oh, failed to grip. But we can also use the grab to position the logs properly. These controls are not the easiest. That would do for now. Oh, actually, you know what? We can use the grab to move these properly. There we go. Now we can pick up our final log. And get it on the truck bed so we can take these away. Here comes our final log, and it's pretty skinny, as you can tell. this one just about there. There we go. Now we can fold up the crane and head away with our logs. Alright, here we go. The sawmill is not too far from here, so it's not a terribly long drive. These logs can be used to make some good lumber, as you'll see in a bit. Sawmill is just up there. Won't be too long till we get these there and cut up into lumber. And here we are. Let's get set up in a good spot so we can unload the timber from the truck. Here's a good spot. I bet we could lift all the logs at once from the truck. Let's get it in. Grab the logs. Lift them up. And we'll put them on the feed table. This boom can extend just like the boom on that crane we used to lift the container at the port. Oh, the skinny log isn't quite in balance, but there we go. All the logs are unloaded and are gonna be cut up into lumber very, very soon. That was amazing. Back at the farm, there's another field of wheat that is ready to harvest. Here comes a combine harvester. You can lower down and cut into the wheat. This header is 30 feet wide, but this field could take quite a while. The combine harvester separates the grain from the stalk, and the output, or the residue, called straw, comes out the back, and that's what is piling up on the ground behind us. The seeds, or the beans, they look a lot like coffee beans, go into the grain tank to be stored for later use. This field could take a while. You see our tractor planting the seeds far in the other field. Continuing to harvest the field. And now, it's on to the next pass. But this field still could take a long time. We have to kind of drive through the wheat in order to turn around. And we're just about in position. And we're going to continue cutting the wheat. Let's see how the planting is going over in the other field while it continues harvesting. Wow, the field sowing is really coming along here. Hey, we gotta scare the birds out so they don't eat the seeds. The wheat hasn't even sprouted yet. but we have only one more pass to make. Let's run up there and see how it's all going. Whoa, be careful of the wind turbine there. You could run into it. Let's get the machine in the last run to plant the last row of seeds, and the whole field will be planted. The field is nearly planted, as you can see. Wow, that was quite a lot of work to plant the entire field. But we are nearly done. We can check back on the harvest in a second. There we go! The planting is done, so we can fold up the unit and move it aside and park it in our yard. Now let's tab back to our combine harvester and see how it's doing. Taking a bit of effort to turn around, but it's doing it. Now let's get this last row of wheat harvested. Then we'll be able to dump our residue into a storage bucket over there. A harvester like this can harvest at a maximum speed of 6 miles per hour. Our grain tank isn't even full yet, but this field would take a while otherwise. We're almost done here. So we can lift it up and let the last of that straw spit out the back. There we go. Now we can deposit the grain into the empty container laying on the other side of the field here. The grain pours out of the long auger that extended out. There we go. Now we can move it away and park it in the farmyard. Wow, we did quite a lot today. So let's do a quick recap of what we have done. We have collected sand and dumped it in to fill in a broken road. We lifted a container from a ship and moved it to the other end of the pier. We planted crops and harvested them. And we cut some timber to make lumber. And we cut some log, and we cut a tree so we can make timber. Wow, this was a lot of fun learning about all these big machines. Hey, look! These guys are working on a house. I'm sure we could help them as well. And there's still quite a lot going on out here, aside from all the agriculture, logging, construction, and logistics handling. Wow, we've had quite a day, so let's run quickly back to our house. Wow, this was quite a lot. Thank you guys for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more videos coming very soon.